I have Aditya Sareen with me today, who's head of talent, HR, COE in nutshell, to some of the many roles that he plays for Tata Power. Aditya comes with diverse experience across industries from consulting to banking to manufacturing and now power. With this gold has become expensive, but in terms of richness, the gold of experience that Aditya brings is something that we all value from in this conversation. And I am absolutely looking forward to this conversation with you, Aditya.
Pleasure.
First of all, thank you for being here and accepting our invite.
It's always a pleasure to interact with you, Andy. I mean, this has been what? It's been 25 years now.
Indeed, 25 long years, but it doesn't feel like each time I meet with you.
Well, I see you younger every time I meet you.
Thank you so much for that. And now, viewers, please listen to the last part of it, the younger one. Okay. So, Aditya, you and me have been talking about this even this morning when we were discussing about the event.
Yeah.
And I think I did realize one of the things both of us very commonly agree and feel, and I think we take it to our viewers as well. HR has got its seat on the table for sure, and that's something you see across the globe. What are your views about the voice on that table?
Well, first of all, Anand, I'm so glad that we finally got our seat at the table. It took long, and may I take the liberty to mention that COVID firmed up the seat at the table. Mm-hmm. When you talk about the voice on the table, that's a very, very it's a very, very sharp question, because it's person specific also, which means that while you're at the table, one option is to keep the table and the chair warm, and therefore come in to acknowledge, come in to perhaps gently coax, come in to endorse. But the true value, I thought, Anand, that HR can bring in, and because people is the most important resource for an organization, an enterprise, an institution, and perhaps the only distinguishing factor today. I think the HR leader at the table has to play multiple roles, right? And the voice should perhaps resound of that of a coach, that of a strategist, that of a challenger, that of an enabler, maybe that of a counselor, and perhaps that of a customer as well, because ultimately all that you do in an organization impacts the human resources and the customers. So, first of all, it's important that the voice is, first of all, made to be heard, which means that you got to speak up, right? Mm-hmm. And speak up, ladies and gentlemen, is important. Speak up is not about endorsement. Speak up is about speaking your mind. And therefore, that's perhaps the most important part, because when you're at the table, you're at the table for the purpose. The purpose is that you, co-create, you synthesize, you build, you critique the discussion that are happening. And if that's the case, and if you're the custodian of people and people practices, and that's, I think, the human capital, as they say today, then you've got to be very, very clear about what the agenda is. That's the first part. The second is that I thought that hitherto, the most important voice on the table was of finance, is of finance, if I may be corrected. And it's not about my voice versus your voice. I think it's the voice, it's our voice. So understand and then perhaps seek to be understood. Be true to the purpose. And I think that's something that all of us, whether we have a voice on the table or a table, because we all have tables that we sit on, right? The voice that matters is intent and content. So if you have genuine intent, your voice, no matter how feeble, no matter how sharp or how slow, will be heard. And when it's coupled with content, well, then every time and each time people will look up to you to, perhaps give your view. So I would request and urge that the seat that we've got at the table, ladies and gentlemen, which has come with a lot of effort, by the way, Anand, should perhaps now be held so well that people think and reflect and introspect that why haven't we given this seat to this perhaps the person that's there for a long time. And last but not the least, if you're true to our purpose, if you're keen on making impact, if you're keen on being a true custodian, then, ladies and gentlemen, the day is not far when this seat and the number of occupants might just multiply, And perhaps this is going to be the first voice that people will turn up to. And then come the other voices. That's my take, Anand.
Thank you so much, Aditya. That was indeed very insightful. While I was listening to you, I also go back to perhaps 2018 when we met for a leadership initiative for Tata.
I remember that, that's right, yeah.
Across.
Correct.
And there were some agendas that were set.
That's right.
I think going by overall performance of the organization, also for shareholders, the kind of performance that we see. And I would certainly see a lot of value in you helping us understand how did you align the talent goals with that of the organizational goals, and what benefits have you seen over the years of this?
Well, Andy, I must thank my leadership at the outset. I think I've had the privilege of working with some of the best leaders in the industry, the current managing director, the apex leaders, the CHROs that I've worked with, the current CHRO specifically. I think Tata Power, first of all, is an institution. It's an institution in perpetuity. We're today 109, 110 years young. And trust me, organizations that survive the century are institutions. So we've always been a pioneer in people practices. We also are part of the most respected Tata Group. That said, we take pride in nurturing our own talent. We build our own timber. We're very, very cognizant of the fact that homegrown talent is perhaps the best way to leverage human capital. And I think that's where we've capitalized. We're today very, very privileged to have 5 generations of families working with us. I have a 5th generation employee that works with us, and imagine that 5 generations. People have that natural affiliation to Tata Power, and we take pride in lighting up lives. That said, we believe that learning, talent development is an investment. The first thing is that we don't take it as a cost. It's an investment. You don't invest and ask for returns here and now. You have a long-term horizon. So I think our leaders have been very patient. Our people have been very supportive as well. Second is the fact that we believe that we will, so we're a family. We take people along as one large family, and we've grown over the last couple of years that you've been seeing, ladies and gentlemen. Tata Power has grown into the most admired, the largest integrated power company across the value chain. We've had some commendable, results at the Odisha Discom that we acquired from the government of Odisha, and that was in the peak of COVID. So a great success story. We've kept our foot on the ground. We've been, firm. We've anchored our practices basis people, growth and development. We've not shied away from introspecting, reflecting, and saying if it's not working, no problem, we'll rehash it. We've been patient. We've given people time and enablement to deliver. And we've also ensured that all our people practices are refreshed, renewed, basis what's the ask of the employees, and very well aligned to our organization strategy. The power sector also is booming. What the power sector of today is what IT was maybe in the 90s, what telecom was in 2000. So power is just very, very hot, if I may say. It's hot also with its wires, but it's hot. Right? But that said, I think this is the place to be. We're all having a mission to ensure that sustainable, affordable energy is available to all, across India, and we're very aligned on making sustainability a way of life. So our employee value proposition is anchored on sustainability, oneness, and growth, and I think we've demonstrated that. So in summary, we've been patient for outcomes. We've been enabling. We're okay to learn from our mistakes. We've also ensured that we co-create. We understand and then design and then develop and then deliver. And the success that you see of the organization is for all the 24,000 employees that we have, obviously steered by the very able leadership.
Excellent. And I think the expanse and the depth of what you're doing must be making your job so interesting. Well,
we're a set of passionate people. We come to work because we are purposeful. And we really enjoy what we're doing. I mean, all of us. What better example than generations working for Tata Power? So that shows that there's a huge amount of affiliation.
And that's where my next question is coming from. That when you mentioned 5 generations and such a long legacy, inside of this, as business changed, markets changed, consumers changed, the organization would have also experienced many changes.
Certainly.
What would be your message to organizations that are preparing themselves for change? What kind of preparedness that they need to be having before stepping into a change initiative?
Very, very important question. I'm not sure if I'm qualified enough to answer that question, but maybe with the experience that I have in the last 11 years at Tata Power, I'd mention that, first of all, change is not an enemy. Change is a friend. So the change anxiety that people keep talking about, and I would date it back to 99, 2000, the Y2K bug. What will happen on 31st December 99? Will my accounts become zero? It did not. So people anticipate change, and when you anticipate something, there is perhaps aspects of anxiety, but there's also aspects of opportunity. Today, it's important to scan, anticipate, think ahead of the times, and then most importantly, be in a state where you're willing to unlearn and relearn at very, very fast speed. You cannot, cling to things. So I think letting go and holding on is a very important balance that organization and people need to have. How many of us that had the QWERTY phone, and we have telecom, both of us, so do have them right now? I mean, I'm not naming brands, but last 5 years, yeah. How many of us, today do walk into a place to shop? I mean, so things have changed. Now, when things are changing, you have the option, the opportunity to adapt to that change. When you adapt to a change, you must be clear that this is not by force, this is by willingness. And I think an important aspect in effective change management is the collective. It's important also to be very clear in communication. They say, and I don't want to quote, but there was an ad long ago. You would remember, "Baat karne se baat banti hai."
Absolutely.
So you got to talk. Yeah, you got to talk to people. Reach out last mile. First of all, put anxieties to rest. Because half of it is in the mind, right? Yeah, it is as big as it's in mind. The second is, as I mentioned earlier in one of my questions, that co-create. Get people who are going to be affected. Get people who perhaps are decision makers together and co-create. The third is, and I've been a staunch believer and advocate of the fact that be true to your purpose. Your intention can be felt. People are very smart and sharp. If they see genuine intent, they're with you. Another important thing, Anand, is that we've learned over the last couple of years of how frequent change is. So we should have a change readiness toolkit by now, shouldn't we?
Absolutely.
I mean, we do know, and we keep talking in all forums, the future of work, how is AI going to disrupt, what's technology going to do, workforce models, but are we going to keep talking? Or are we going to act, and are we going to be prepared for the next change? So every change that comes or every disruption that comes also tests your agility. That has your response to change time augmented or not. And as they say, you can't make the same mistake for the same reason twice. So you got to be very clear on that. But my 2 bits to myself and everybody else that's perhaps keen to understand about change management is that unclear, unspecific communication, ambiguous responses, knee-jerk reactions, uninvolved, processes and policies will always backfire. Mm-hmm. Take people together, show them, as we say in our learning, taxonomy, what's in it for me. Absolutely. If you can get the whiffim, then Anand, as used to say, it's going to be an aha moment. So I think we've summarized the learning way that you got to be true to your purpose, show them what's in it for them. There are bound to be apprehensions, there are bound to be anxieties, but then that's where the test of leadership is. If it was easy, then we don't need to talk about change management, do we? Because it's difficult, is what you and I are talking. I think that's about it. We have some phenomenal success stories of change management within the Tata Group, outside the Tata Group. I think it's important to learn. And ladies and gentlemen, it's important that it's also fine to go slow. Rome wasn't built in a day. And so can't change be managed overnight. You have to give it time. I think that's my 2 bits.
More than 2 bits. Those 2 bits come with a lot of aha moments, I'm sure, for the viewers. But how can we allow Aditya to go without sharing his experience at the AMA event today?
Fantastic event. First of all, it has to be fantastic because Anand is at the helm. But
not that I asked you this question.
No.
Coming from you, I think it's really a very valuable
It was
feedback.
a pleasure. I think I have seen a very nice set of people here today from the HR fraternity, learning leaders, HR leaders, change leaders. The program has a blend of panel discussions, there's keynotes, there's experiential learning, there's aspects to network and move around. It's also accommodating. So this is one event where the bell post the breaks is not so hard that you got to leave and run. You are given time to assimilate. What are events for? Events are for exchanging perspectives, gaining insights, networking, and having fun. I think this event has 5 on, 5 on all, and +1 for the warm hospitality of AMA and the team led by Anand. I would recommend that you please join the next episode of the event that's happening around the country. I understand from Anand that you're going around the country and even global.
Next is Bangalore,
Please.
and then global, South Asia.
Yeah. So be there. It's always good to network. They say your network is your net worth. I say that along with your network, please discuss real life challenges. Discuss use cases.
That's the whole idea of it.
Not for the intent to copy paste, but to understand, perhaps maybe amplify or augment, and then go ahead and do it. I think it's important that we all believe in a collective. It's not me versus somebody else. It's us as an HR fraternity. So I think I'm grateful to AMA for having this event and for calling me in. Thank you very much, Anand, and the entire team. And this was quite an insightful event for me. I personally take back some learning, some perspectives, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thank you so much, Aditya, for
Pleasure.
being here. And for all those who missed attending the event, you heard what Aditya has to say about the event.
If you've missed attending this, ladies and gentlemen, you've missed something today. I'm sure Anand and his team is going to put some content online.
Absolutely.
Watch out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anand. Pleasure.